Welcome back to the Talk Shop as we have entered Tracy Fletcher's office, Albany County Treasurer. And thank you for having us, the Talk Shop, in your office. Tracy Fletcher, thank you for joining us here this morning with information.
Thanks for the invitation.
For the residents of Albany County. What we have ahead are 3 informational meetings. The first will be next Tuesday, April 29th, 5:30 p.m. at the Albany County Fairgrounds Activities Building. And you, along with Chelsea Matthews as the assessor and Kayla White as clerk, will all 3 be present in a year 2 effort to inform the public of different things happening from the legislative session and those things that are important affecting residents of Albany County. What does your office have specifically that you will be presenting in those information sessions that you'd like to highlight ahead of next Tuesday?
Well, one thing, of course, is the county finances and the budget, and let people know how the county is spending their important taxpayer monies and how we're safeguarding them. I'll probably make a few shameless plugs about, some new license plate series coming out that love them or hate them, you have to have them. The property tax refund program and the applications that we have here in the office.
You mentioned a form there. What's the importance of this form? What does it qualify people for, or decide whether people actually qualify for?
This is the property tax refund program that is administered by the Department of Revenue on the state level. So this form, you go through the various qualifications. For instance, the median income in Albany County, which is the statewide level, is $109,881. And that's one of the qualifications. The assets is another qualification. That is $163,019 per household. Adult household member, but that excludes the primary home that you were applying for, a vehicle for each adult, and retirements and medical savings accounts.
And you want your taxes filled out in preceding filling out any of these forms? Do you want to have that completed? If you filed an extension, that could make your filing for this exemption more difficult.
It could. You do need to have some proof of income. There are various things. If you do not file taxes, such as your sole income is Social Security, there's different forms and everything like that. And many of these are outlined on here. If you have any questions on these forms or need help filling them out, I have a wonderful staff here. They are fabulous, and they will help you fill anything out, answer any questions. We want to help people get the right information on there and increase their chances of being approved.
What other forms this year in 2025 might be new to people who may have even engaged in different applications in 2024 for them to be considering this year?
I don't believe there's any new forms, Eric. I could be mistaken just because my staff does this on a day-to-day basis, and I'm not the most hopeful one in the office doing it, but
this is the primary one. This one's one of the most commonly sought.
Yes.
Very good.
1040 form, I know, for the IRS, your property tax bill, your property tax receipts,
okay.
The second half of the payments. If you have a mortgage, of course, we have not received those yet because there's a lag from when the mortgage company takes them out of your account, your escrow account, and they remit it to us. But if you would like, we can mail everybody's applications in once we have those receipts, and we'll print them off for everybody. We can print off copies of the bills. Pretty much we're here to help make sure everybody gets what they can.
One of the things that I appreciate in the information meetings that will be held the 29th of April at the Albany County Fairgrounds Activities Building, May 6th at the Centennial Valley Library location, 5:30 to 7 p.m. And then finally, the third session will be in Rock River Town Hall on the 2nd of June Is that correct? The 2nd of June? Or no, it's the 13th. 13th of May.
13th.
May 13th. Yeah. So 3 successive weeks. The importance of those is that some deadlines are ahead. What are some of the important deadlines? June 2nd, one of those specific deadlines.
The property tax refund program for the state application, the deadline is Monday, June 2nd at 5 p.m. And unfortunately, there's no exceptions, and sadly, we have seen people deny because they haven't turned them in by that deadline. But we really want everybody to get them in, and we'll mail them for you too.
Was there an average savings that's anticipated for applicants who qualify this year in this program?
The average savings, I want to say last year it was like 900 to 1,000, I want to say, but okay. I don't know that they have given us that amount for this year, and I could just be missing it. That's entirely.
Now, last year you calculated a number of scenarios for people in public information meetings. You guys collectively had 4 of those meetings last year. You'll have 3 this year. What are you preparing to present in these upcoming introductions and information meetings?
Some super fascinating, titillating financial information on county government. I know I'm not going to throw a whole bunch of numbers out at people because I don't want anybody to fall asleep.
Eyes glazed.
Yes. But I'll have some graphs, and I'll have the actual numbers if they want to review them later, or have insomnia or something like that. But I will present the county budget, a percentage of each department of the total overall budget. For instance, my office is 4% of the overall county budget. I'll further break it down into personnel versus operations, and operations being, all the things that keep us running, keep the lights on, the utilities, the paper, the office supplies, and those various things. I'm going to show how the taxpayer dollar comes in, like $1 alone, and where all that $1 goes to in our community. And hope to give more information too on how much taxes the average family pays and what kind of benefits that they see from those. And that's, going to be an average.
Is that a calculation that you do annually? Is that something that is of vital importance to you as a county administrator?
Each year I do calculate what the cost of our county government is per citizen, and revenue per citizen, and then net them out. And right now, as of at the end of fiscal year 2024, it was about $98 per citizen in our county that it costs, net costs. So our expenditures minus the revenues, it costs the average individual $98 to receive all the county services that they receive.
And what have you learned in the last year as Albany County Treasurer that you'll apply this year in 2025?
Oh my goodness, this last year has been a whirlwind. We've been getting new software, and so we're looking at newer ways to be more efficient here, and learning different ways to do that, and also more public interfaces with our software, where the goal is to be able to have the software connectivity, and people can see when they do have insomnia and they want to look at county government numbers, how much we've spent on utilities or whatever they choose to look at.
Attending the Albany County Commissioner meetings, I have recognized the sensitivity of your office and the county clerk's office, as well as county assessor's office and other county areas, for maintaining staff and personnel. What directives have you been given by the Albany County Commissioners in governance for our county?
Our commissioners, we know there's going to be some budget cuts coming because of the different property tax rather the property tax exemption programs that Chelsea, I'm sure, covered earlier. So their directive to us was to try not to lose personnel or affect personnel in any way. So that means cutting in other areas. A lot of us have statutory duties that we can't cut because that's just the law tells us we have to do them. One example would be I'm required to advertise the delinquent properties prior to tax sale for 3 weeks prior to the tax sale. That comes with a price tag. That's a huge price tag. It's about $13,000 a year to make that advertisement. So I can't cut there, and if they don't want me to cut personnel, I need to look harder at other areas that are not as necessary.
Are the advantages of software applications and the changes and developments that it might be being presented to the county in your office specifically, are those assets some that we're enjoying the efficiencies and the economies of our investments from previous years that are going to help us this year and for years to come? Or are we, year by year, are we strangled by these application changes and so forth?
As far as the software specifically, we haven't seen the efficiencies yet. We just went live with our financial software on April 1st. And so we're still working on getting all the little tiny bits and pieces in place and functioning correctly. So we're kind of almost doing a dual system. So there's no efficiency seen quite yet, but there will be, because a lot of the things that we've been doing manually are going to be an import process now. And one example of that is everything that our front counter takes in. So all the property tax money, the sales tax money, and the motor vehicle money. Right now, we have to manually divide that through all the different mill levies and distribute it manually. It's going to be an import process. Right there, just that one process alone will save at least 1 day for an employee of all the different distributions. There's going to be some.
You almost have to do twice as much work in a transition period, don't you? You're doing it manually.
Yes.
You're inputting so that you can gain later. You're
Yes.
double timing it right now in that transition period.
Yes.
That phase.
And also doing all of our regular duties otherwise. So I've got a shout out to my staff, specifically Sunny. She's my deputy. She has been consistent and tirelessly working to make this transition happen. Amanda in Kayla's office, and Kayla as well. I mean, they've been working tirelessly as well to get all this done. It's a lot of work to try and keep up on your regular daily activities and duties, and do them well, that we can have a clean audit every year. So last year we had a clean audit. This year we're hoping to have a clean audit again. Transition time, we're hoping we're just not missing anything. And
who conducts a clean audit? You talk about a clean audit. Who conducts the audit on the county?
So we have an outside accounting agency come in. We're required by statute to hire them. If we don't hire them, the state will come in from the Department of Audit, and they will do an audit for us. It's much easier if we hire somebody to do it. So our auditors are Carver, Floric, and James. They're out of Layton, Utah, but they also have offices. I know there's one in Sheridan, or perhaps it's Gillette, but they do have some Wyoming offices as well. They audit, I want to say, at least 5 or 6 other Wyoming counties, and then there's school districts, fire districts, and others that they audit here in Wyoming. But they come in. They like to do some pre-audit work where we give them all the basic transaction information, and then they take a random selection and come in and go through all of our paperwork. Ask all these questions. Why is this revenue higher than that one last year? Why is this expenditure higher? Why is this one lower? And we have to account for these variances. Otherwise, then they start digging deeper. And usually it's very easily solved.
How important are those checkpoints to your confidence in best representing Albany County in your capacity as Albany County Treasurer?
I think for me, it is paramount to have a clean audit, because it can affect everything. We are heavily grant funded, and if you start having internal control deficiencies or material weaknesses over internal controls, you can start losing grants. And we have a number of grant funded positions, and that could mean people. And I also personally, clean audits mean I'm doing my job. and that the people can trust me to, I'm gonna do what I have to do to make sure our finances in the county is taken care of, because I don't ever want anybody to question that we're not doing a good job here.
You talk about the weight of grant funding in Albany County. Is that trending higher and higher with grant support for Albany County in this year and perhaps next year compared to previous years, or where's that?
I think our grant funding is versus our general fund is probably pretty stable and stays about the same proportion year to year. I don't know that it's going to be any greater or any less. We do have a lot of grants, so for instance, our total revenues overall are probably in the neighborhood of 55 million, and only about 14 to, I lost the number, I'm going to cheat and look, 18 million is our general fund revenue. So all that remaining between the 18 million and 55 million, whatever that maths out to be, because I don't have that number mathed in front of me, that is all grants.
Power. Wow. That is,
Yes.
that is substantial. And the impact you see in every walk of life of Albany County. You see it here, you see it there in ways you never expected.
Yes.
But the pride that you take in that measure, in that audit, do help substantiate the importance to our community. So thank you for that. And as you go into these 3 information meetings, what's your goal? What's your ultimate goal for the Albany County Treasurer's Office in the public service at this time?
I think it's just those 2 words, public service. We are here to serve the public. I don't think necessarily people always feel comfortable coming in and talking to us, so we want to let everybody know those communication lines are open, and this is one way to do that, is to get out there and talk to them and answer questions that they might have. Just want them to know we're here. Sometimes I know I get a lot of comments. I'm like, well, I seen you at your desk, but you look busy, so I didn't want to bug you. I'm like, bug me, because it's probably a lot of spreadsheets and numbers, and sometimes I need a break from that.
Well, it's wonderful to have the invitation to come to your office. Thank you for bringing the talk shop into the Albany County Treasurer's Office. Tracy Fletcher with us this morning, and available Monday through Friday, your office 9 to 5 open, and lunch hours open through lunches as well?
Yeah, we're open through lunches. I'm here usually working through my lunch just because I live too far out of town to go home for lunch, and I'd like to bring my lunch. Tell
us as we close some of the resources that are available, perhaps uniquely from your staff in the office or online, that are readily available, and how those might be accessed for the public.
Many of the forms and everything you need are online. I'm not sure if we got our website updated with the newest state application yet, but if not, we'll get that done relatively quickly here. We have the motor vehicle applications for the different specialty plates, so prestige plates. We have links to tax sale and property tax information. My staff is knowledgeable in all the things, all the way from sales tax, motor vehicle registration, property tax refund program, where to find things. I sometimes feel like we're the information desk for the courthouse sometimes, because we have people, where do I pay my parking ticket, or things like that. Or,
where's the sheriff's office?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So they know so much and are very helpful.
Tracy Fletcher, your Albany County Treasurer, thank you for joining the talk shop here and having us in your office right here at the county building, and making yourself available Monday through Friday, and the upcoming information sessions. Just one more outreach opportunity, making Albany County serve you.